So if you're like most women I work with, I'm sure you felt guilty when you've had food that was off plan and instantly you felt like you ruined your whole week, right? Maybe it was pizza, wine, or an extra cookie, but suddenly the guilt kicks in. So today we're going to talk about where that guilt comes from and how to finally break free from it, okay? Because guilt around food is more common than you think. And it doesn't just show up when someone binges. It might even be just when you eat a piece of chocolate or even feeling bad for eating some carbs, right? Thinking you either need to earn or burn off that food, which in my opinion is the worst way to look at it. And on top of that, you're judging yourself after self-imposed expectations. I mean, what is actually good food? What does clean eating even mean? Okay? It almost sounds like we have to wash our food in order for it to be healthy, right? And here's the thing, that guilt doesn't make you any healthier. It doesn't make you any leaner either. It just makes you miserable and much more likely to give up and start over on Monday because you already screwed up, right? So what the heck? You might as well throw it out the door, out the window. So let's be clear. And I think the biggest point I want to make is that calories are what drive fat loss. It's not clean eating, not cutting out carbs, and not eating perfectly, okay? And I know some people say, oh, it's not just calories. Well, it's not. But here's some good extremes I want to share with you. The first is a Kansas City State nutrition professor, Mark Hobb. He lost 27 pounds in 2 months eating Twinkies, Doritos, and protein shakes because he kept his calories low enough. Then there was Chris Voigt, who ate 20 potatoes a day for 60 days and came out leaner, and he actually had improved blood work and blood sugar. That's with white potatoes. Even Penn Jillette, the magician, jump-started his weight loss journey by eating nothing but plain potatoes for 2 weeks. And I'm just talking about potatoes because they have a bad stigma behind them, okay? But you might tell me, but Zach, those are all men, right? It wouldn't work for women. Well, one woman documented a 28-day potato diet, eating only potatoes for 3 to 4 days each week, and she still lost several pounds. Janine Elder was the author of the Potato Reset, which I wouldn't recommend any of this, okay? I want to say that. Lost 100 pounds doing a similar approach. And in a 2008 feature, a 30-year-old investment banker named Emily shared how she maintained her weight eating mostly processed junk food because she controlled her calorie intake. And again, don't get me wrong here. None of these diets are ideal long-term, and they're not what I would call healthy. Because over time, you would definitely have some nutrient deficiencies that could affect your health, but also processed foods generally don't help with your fullness. So you're going to get hungrier, which is going to cause you to eat more calories, right? So it's important to get enough protein, fruits, vegetables, all of those things, right? But again, I want to prove something critical, that weight loss happens in a calorie deficit, period. You can't lose body fat if you're not. And that's why I teach flexible dieting. You don't obsess over good and bad foods. We don't want to demonize these foods because all that does is lead to food guilt, which is exactly what we want to avoid, right? So instead, we focus on prioritizing calorie intake, right? Choosing high quality foods that are going to fuel your energy and your mood. And I'd say, 80% of your food should be whole food, right? But that leaves room for some flexibility. You can have about 20% of your diet with things that you enjoy because life is meant to be lived, right? Try to imagine enjoying wine on Friday nights or a cookie with your kid with feeling zero guilt. When's the last time you were able to do that? And this is all because you just know that it fits in your plan. See, you account for that. And you're focused on consistency, not perfection. And this is exactly what my program, the HEAT Method, is all about. Okay? I help clients lose fat without giving up their favorite foods, build habits that fit into their busy family life, and I help them stop starting over and over and over again each Monday. Because I know it's so frustrating, right? But no extremes, no cutting out entire food groups, just smart, sustainable strategies backed by science. And yes, even by those potato and Twinkie diets, they do prove some things, even though it's not something I would recommend, okay? So if you're tired of feeling like every bite needs to be perfect, just shoot me a DM on Instagram at Pello Fitness, or you can go to pellofitness.com and fill out my application, and I can get you on the wait list for the HEAT method. Let's build a way of eating you can actually enjoy for the rest of your life. Take care.